Number 1 at quarterback, I have. Is he number 1?
Wrong.
Oh, you're saying that my quarterback is wrong?
Wrong.
You're wrong. Tua Tagovailoa going to be my breakout quarterback of the week. You saw him. He threw 27 for 31 last week. 27 for 31. That completion percentage, very good. Threw to Jalen Waddle a ton. That is there. Will Fuller not going to be back yet. Devontae Parker not going to be back yet.
Sad.
But still, you're playing the Giants. I mean, come on.
Okay, but
Tua looked good last week against the Panthers.
But
What's Stephon Gilmore?
The Giants have been playing different. It's not the normal Giants that everyone's been talking about. And I'm a Cowboys fan.
They still are bad.
I don't like the Giants. I don't like the Washington football team. I don't like the Eagles, But I'll say the Giants have shown me something that I haven't seen in the Giants ever.
Losing with pride.
Yes. Jeez. I mean, I'll give the Giants props. I mean, they played. Who did they play? That I was actually surprised that they almost won. Definitely not the Bucks.
The Bucks game was impressive.
Not the Bucks.
Impressively bad.
Jeez. I mean, they won against the Raiders. 16-23.
It was still the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders are but they're also not good.
They beat the Cowboys.
They beat the Cowboys. Because the Cowboys sucked that week. But yeah, Tua Tagovailoa, he's coming into this one. He had a good week last week. That defense is going to continue to stifle the Giants this week. And Tua's going to have opportunities to throw the ball, and he's not going to feel forced to either because that defense is going to be able to hold up against Danny Dimes. That defense can hold up against mobile quarterbacks, and especially against quarterbacks that can't throw.
Yep.
So I think this is going to be a field day for that defense yet again.
Yep. And
that's going to allow Tua to, relax. He's not going to force throws in, and he's going to be able to work with his guys. So, who's your quarterback?
I had Justin Herbert. I had to put him in there. I mean,
he's
been doing so.
He has been doing great.
He's been doing really good with a 65 completion percentage.
65, nice.
So, which isn't the best. I mean, he could do better than that.
Yeah.
But he has 3,000 passing yards.
3,000. Wow.
And he has 24 touchdowns. 20.
He has 24?
Yeah.
Oh.
24 touchdowns.
That's not insane. Patrick Mahomes threw 50 in a 16-game season.
Did he?
Yeah.
50?
50.
Maybe I just don't look at stats very often. That's probably right. But I'm saying he's gonna have a great day. He's gonna have a great day.
Who's leading the leagues in passing touchdown? Who leads the league in passing touch?
Derek Carr.
Is it really?
I'm serious. It's Derek Carr. I just
It's Tom. Oh wait, no, that's in history.
Derek Carr. I'm telling you.
Is it Derek Carr? It's still Tom Brady with 30. Stafford is 27. Mahomes is 25.
No.
Yep.
It has. I just saw it.
Let's see. Derek Carr has 17 passing touchdowns.
Oh, I'm talking about passing yards.
Oh, passing yards?
Yeah.
That might be Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Touchdowns, it comes to Tom Brady with 30, Stafford with 27, Allen and Mahomes are tied at 25.
Okay.
Herbert is at 24. He's good. He's 5th in the league. So, you know what? He's still good. I don't know how much of a breakout it's going to be, as it's going to be a good game, though.
He's playing Cincinnati.
He's playing Cincy.
He's playing Cincinnati.
Cincinnati has looked a lot better recently, though.
They have.
So I wouldn't make that a gimme. But one thing that is a gimme, though, is my running back breakout of the week, Joe Mixon. See, when it comes to Joe Mixon, everyone's looking at last game and they're like, okay, yeah, he did really good. He's a really good running back, but he's not going to repeat it. That's what everyone's saying. Everyone's like, you know what, he's going to get, 90 yards on 20 carries next game, 1 touchdown. No, he is repeating this week. The Chargers suck at run defense. The Chargers cannot. Yeah, they're one of the worst in the league. They cannot stop the run for the life of them. And when you're coming into this game, Joe Mixon off of a huge week, he's only looking to continue that. And I also thought, I didn't end up choosing them, but I had thought about choosing Elijah Mitchell against Seattle, who's the 2nd worst run defense in the league, or Leonard Fournette versus Atlanta. All 3 of them had huge weeks last week, and they're playing better opponents to play. They're playing worse opponents this week.
Yeah, so it's.
It's tough to choose one that isn't one of those 3. just because of their matchups. So I ended up choosing Joe Mixon because the Chargers, most people think of the Chargers and they're like, yeah, they're an okay team, whereas the other, Seattle and Atlanta, are not good teams. So that's why I'm going with Joe Mixon also.
I went with Tony Pollard or Ezekiel Elliott.
Make an official choice, though. Make an official choice.
I'm going to say Zeke.
Come on, Zeke?
I'm going to say Zeke.
Okay.
But,
Because of Jerry Jones having a...
It's what he said, man. He's
having a serious
so
load.
weird.
He's going to have a serious load.
I just feel like he could just go. He could just go. He's gonna get a serious load.
Get the ball and go end zone.
End zone. Touchdown.
End zone. Touchdown.
Now my actual pick this week is Alexander Madison. Versus Detroit. Dalvin Cook is out. So I mean, last week he had 7 touches with 21 rushing yards.
Ooh, three yards to carry. Oh, so great. So great.
Touchdown. But that's per game.
1 touchdown per game.
That's per game.
How many games has he played? He got 1 touchdown per game.
Stat.
He got 1 touchdown per game in 1 game.
I'm telling you, I just saw a stat and I was like, oh yeah, that's good. I'm gonna write it down.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey is averaging 1 touchdown a game or something like that. I mean, you could go with so many different things whenever you're saying per game. If it's a guy like, Alexander Madison who doesn't play all the time, that's not as impressive as, if you were talking about, Derrick Henry who plays every day.
Yeah.
I mean, up until now. But, when you're talking about workhorse guys like Dalvin Cook versus backups who don't play every day, that per game stat does get a lot different.
Yeah. And I mean, they're playing Detroit.
They are playing Detroit. That's a big thing, so. Detroit. I mean, I didn't really think of that when I was going with that. I think he's the only really real guy that could,
Maybe
show out
difference.
this week. I would have said Titans players, Dontrell Hilliard or Deontay Foreman. Both of them did pretty good last week. I also had Dontrell Hilliard, but I benched him. He scored 21. I decided to play Nick Westbrook-Ikhine.
Westbrook?
Yeah. Are you related?
Yeah.
What?
And D.D. Westbrook. We're related to.
Oh, yo.
Yeah. And Russell Westbrook.
Oh, of the Thunder. Wait,
yeah.
No. Wait, what team? What team is he even on? Oh, he's on the Lakers.
Is he really?
I think so.
I don't keep up with basketball.
That dude switched around 7 different teams. He was on the Wizards, he was on the Rockets, he was on the Thunder, he's been on the Lakers, I know. I mean, that dude moved all around.
Dang.
Yeah, he's something. And the Lakers suck this year, which is awesome. Anyways, back to football here. Wide receiver breakout of the week. We had similar players here, apparently. I went with Rashad Bateman versus Pittsburgh. Now, Rashad Bateman, he's coming into this game, and, he hasn't really had a breakout week yet. He's a good rookie. We all saw it in the preseason, and he came back from injury, and he was been pretty good up in, throughout since he came back from injury. And you're looking at him, and he's like, you know what? He could come off. I think you're looking at a good matchup in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has not been good on defense this year. Everyone came into the season and like, oh, Pittsburgh's so good on defense.
They've been
They're going to stuff everything. And they've been terrible.
How do you lose that bad?
Also, TJ Watt's out. Just like to say that.
Really?
I think so. Oh, wait, no. He's just on the COVID list, which means he could come back.
I mean, just how do you lose that bad to a team you play 2 times a year? That just blows my mind. I feel like the Steelers just aren't it. And they weren't it last year either.
Steelers, yeah, last year they went, 13-0, right?
They went 13-0, but
and
it was
they were the worst 13-0 team in history.
Definitely.
I would like to put that out there. I think we talked about this last season on Fantasy Brothers. But, I mean, Pittsburgh, overrated.
My wide receiver is Marquise Brown. I mean, we kind of have the...
Exactly. I think Rashad Bateman, he's coming to this game not as highly rated as Marquise Brown, and I think they're going to have similar production, in all honesty, but most people expect Marquise Brown to do that, whereas Rashad Bateman's more of a, he could do it.
Yeah. I
think they're both going to have similar stat lines, so... I mean, the Pittsburgh defense, I mean, they're all right. Overrated. Anyway, tight end breakout here. We got Dallas Goedert versus the New York Jets. Philly is looking to be a little more conservative on the run with Jalen Hurts nursing that sore ankle. So I feel like they're going to work more on the check down pass. That's going to be a big thing. You could still see Jalen Hurts running out of the pocket, but you're not going to want him taking many hits. So he's going to look for those check down passes, and that is Dallas Goedert for you. And the New York Jets suck.
Yeah.
So
I went with the same pick because tight ends right now are not so hot.
I mean, yeah.
So,
I always suck at picking tight ends. Whenever it comes to tight ends.
I cannot pick a tight end to save my life. I can't do it. Like, I was scrolling through all of them, and I was like, wow.
I mean, the only guy that you know who's going to do well, Mark Andrews and Kelsey.
Yep.
And then
I would throw
most likely Kittle.
Gronkowski in there. But when he's not out.
Gronk and Kittle are both similar situations. When they're not out, throw them in there. They're going to do well. But everyone else, it's like, they could be. Darren Waller could have an off week. Yeah, you never know. But that's going to close out our breakout players. So let's get on into our disappointment players. All right, starting off our disappointment players here at quarterback. I had Daniel Jones versus the Miami Dolphins. Like I mentioned earlier, Miami has figured out mobile quarterbacks that can't throw. And that is the perfect definition of Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones right there. And I see, 7 sacks for Miami. I think that's actually possible.
I think 4 picks this time.
4 picks? I'm gonna be a little bit more cautious here. Only 3 interceptions. Only 3 interceptions from Miami, but they are going for the 7-sack game. That's the big thing. Jalen Phillips and Emmanuel Ogbah both going to go off this game. They are having a feast on Danny Dimes against that offensive line because that offensive line is one of the worst in the NFL. Cincinnati. Do they have a good O-line? I want to say they have a terrible one.
Not that I know of, but they might have a couple.
Oh, Jonah Williams.
Yeah.
Jonah Williams ain't bad. Do they have anyone else? No, they don't really. Anyway, yeah, so Danny Dimes here. Oh, you picked him too.
Yeah, I had to. I couldn't. Like, with Miami, how they played last week, their defense is stellar, in my opinion.
Exactly. And New York's just not going to get anything. Talking about New York not getting anything, my disappointment running back, Saquon Barkley.
Oh.
Now, this one's a big pick here because Saquon, you're coming into this one, and he is a huge player. Everyone knows this guy's name, Saquon Barkley. He was the number 2 overall pick, and he just came back from injury last week, and so now he's looking at really getting back up to speed. Miami's not going to let that happen.
No.
And Miami, they're going to be able to stop that run and not let it go anywhere. But that same blitz that they've used, countless times in the past, they're going to keep doing that, and it's going to work for them. I think clearly going to be easy for them.
Definitely.
Running back.
I picked Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I had to. How he played against the Cowboys, okay. He played pretty decent.
Uh-huh.
And, Denver's defense. What do you think about Denver's defense?
Denver's defense, I think it's okay.
Both teams.
No, I think it's overrated. I do think it's overrated.
Both teams are coming off a bye week. So, you look at it like, who's going to be better? They've had a week to prepare.
It's the Chiefs because the Chiefs have the best offense in the AFC. Well, name a better offense in the AFC at this point. Name a better offense.
Mac Jones. I'm just kidding.
My wide receiver disappointment player, Allen Robinson. I was about to say Lazard, don't know why. Allen Robinson versus Arizona. Cardinals have been pretty good at stopping those wide receivers from catching the ball. Allen Robinson has not been catching the ball.
No.
You talk about fantasy disappointments about DK Metcalf. Look at Allen Robinson. That dude has been terrible.
Yeah, it's
literally like 2 receptions a game for like 17 yards. He has been awful. Darnell Mooney has stolen the show in Chicago. If anyone does catch stuff against Arizona, it's not going to be Robinson.
Yeah.
At this point, he's been terrible. Darnell Mooney is the only reliable option on that team. Cole Kmet can, maybe get them a few times, but Allen Robinson is out of that game plan. He is out. He's gone. Justin Fields does not throw to him. Don't trust him at all, especially against Arizona, who has a pretty good defense this year.
Yeah. I chose Stephon Diggs because...
You mean Steven Diggs? Steven Diggs?
You want to be honest, Nate did that. Nate. It's not even my problem.
So the blame is now on Nate Warrensman. If you're watching this, you are a terrible human being, and you need to go back and take English 101 in 6th grade.
So I chose him because, I mean, he gets a lot of targets.
Okay.
He doesn't have as many yards as he's had before.
It is New England, so.
So I do not think he's.
I'm not going to disagree against anything because New England, so.
Yeah. They always find a way.
They always do something good on defense. Anyway, disappointment tight end now. Pat Freiermuth for me versus the Baltimore Ravens. I was about to say Orioles, and that would have been way wrong. I've just been, baseball signing deadline or whatever, free agency deadlines, like tonight or something, tomorrow night. I don't know. Been going crazy. Orioles in my mind. Baltimore Ravens, though, they are going to stuff up Pat Freiermuth. That defense is pretty good. Pat Freiermuth, he has been pretty good himself. Yeah. He's been one of the best rookie tight ends in the last few years. Rookies usually don't come out, and rookie tight ends at least usually don't come out and, get as much work as Pat Freiermuth has done, but he has replaced Eric Ebron at this point.
Definitely.
He has been a huge part to that Pittsburgh offense. But I think Baltimore and those middle linebackers, Patrick Queen, actually, wait. I do know Patrick Queen got injured near the end of last game, so checking to see if he's okay. No, it's not expected to linger. He is expected to play this week. So with that, Patrick Queen will be able to stop, Pat Freiermuth over in the middle. And those defensive backs, you look at Marlon Humphrey and those safeties, you're not looking at much space created, especially when it comes to a rookie tight end, Pat Freiermuth, and when you have other wide receivers to be passing it to, like Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson is the other guy. And whenever you have Najee Harris to run it with, you're not really looking that much at Pat Freiermuth. You're looking more at the other guys. When you're setting up play action, you're looking to go deeper. And I think that's going to be something that if the Steelers are going to do well on offense, it's not going to be through Pat Freiermuth.
Definitely. I chose Darren Waller. Now, he got injured, so he's questionable. But if he plays, I feel like that's going to throw him off. He has a IT band strain.
I don't even know what that is. That sounds like
look that one up too. Look that one up too.
IT band strain.
So he got injured during the Cowboys game, and it's just I think that's gonna hold him up. I don't think he's gonna be playing as good. I don't think he's gonna get as many targets.
So it's like when you bend your back and then your knee gets like it's a pain in the outside part of the knee when you bend. Interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, if he does play, then that will definitely affect him.
Yeah. So if he doesn't play, you got a backup option?
Yeah, my backup option is Kyle Pitts. I had to choose him. Versus Tampa?
Fair point.
What is he going to do? What is he going to do?
He is going to probably commit a few penalties because he's a rookie. And say, "Oh, I'm open." Oh no, I pushed you to the ground? What? That's not defensive. That's not offensive pass interference. Huh?
Yeah, no, definitely.
I can see both of those guys. Yes. I feel like Darren Waller isn't a guy that, yes, it's going to linger around, but if he does play, he has such a talent that I don't think he's going to fail because Washington isn't all that. Like, they're good, but they're not all that. So, either way.
They did just come off a win.
They did.
And they were
a few wins, right? Three wins in a row?
I think so, yeah, actually.
Football team. No, not football teams. Football team. No, I don't want the Seattle Seahawks. Football team schedule. I don't like Google. I don't like this name. Change the name already.
Washington football team. They're going to change it next year, I bet.
Washington.
Yeah, 3 wins
I
in a
hope
row.
they're going to change it next year. I mean, there are so many good names that they could change it to.
The football team beat the Bucks. Beat Carolina, beat Seattle. 3 wins in a row after coming off the bye week.
They did beat the Bucks.
So,
but that was the Heineke revenge game from the playoffs. So.
If I'm looking at the Washington football team right now, I'm thinking they're
a problem. Good. But yeah, either way, that's going to close out our disappointment players. So let's get on into our weekly matchups. So, to start off weekly matchups here, I'm going to give you the standings real quick. So, I'm sitting at 91 and 61 and 1. So, not a bad percentage for me. I have won. Let's exactly see the percentage of wins that I have. Out of 153 games, I've got 91.5 of them correct. So my win percentage, about 60% right now. So, good soup.
That's not too bad.
I would like that. And I think we're going to actually improve on that this week. Over 60% this week. That's my goal. You haven't guessed any games yet. This is your first appearance on the show, so 0-0. So let's go through these games, see who we're going to pick. Dallas versus New Orleans. We both got Dallas here.
Yeah, I have to pick Dallas. I mean, they're my team. What am I going to do? Go against them? No. I can't do it.
So last week we had on the show, Braden, he knew that the Seattle Seahawks were going to lose, but he couldn't pick against them.
You
Is
can't
this
do
the
that.
same situation?
You just can't do that.
Is this the same situation? I have voted against the Packers before. Did I do it this week? No, because they're on bye.
They are on bye. With the Titans, right?
Titans.
I think they are.
Titans.
Yeah, look.
Titans, Packers.
Panthers, Browns, Packers.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So both Dallas, New Orleans, they have the new quarterback situation with Taysom Hill. I still don't trust them. They don't have an offense, really. They have Alvin Kamara, but that run game is going to be the only thing that's going to help them. And against Dallas, that's going to be helpful. They don't have the best run defense, but it's not so bad that they're going to be able to just run it to the end zone nonstop. And Dallas, that offense is not going to be stopped by New Orleans.
I mean, with Micah Parsons playing defensive end, and
he's playing D-end?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's been playing defensive end.
Really?
He has like
didn't know that.
five sacks.
I know he's been pass rushing a lot. I didn't know he was playing D-end.
He's been playing both. He's been playing linebacker and D-end, just kind of switching back and forth. Yeah. But, I mean, since DeMarcus Lawrence is out,
they need someone,
They need someone, and he's been doing that.
He has been doing that. But yeah, big game there. Dallas going to win this one. Next game, Tampa Bay versus Atlanta. And oh my, Atlanta, we both chose Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, I mean, this one's an easy pick here.
Yeah.
Not really much to discuss. Tampa Bay's good. Atlanta sucks. Actually, Atlanta hasn't been bad recently. They have an okay record.
Falcons
but it's the Falcons. They only win the easy games.
Yeah,
this one is not one of those. Next game here, though, this one could go one way or the other, but
it could.
Arizona versus Chicago, we both chose Arizona here. Arizona's coming into this one 9-2, coming off a bye week, rested. They're getting Kyler back. They're getting DeAndre Hopkins back most likely. Hopefully. And they've had plenty of time to rest. They could have come back 2 weeks ago when they were questionable.
Yeah.
So having that bye week and then coming back later, I think they're going to be rested enough and they're going to be ready to come into this game and they're going to toast Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago, it might get a little bit done on offense. We'll see, but
they could. I mean,
I don't really see it.
I don't really see it being a blowout, though.
I don't see it being a blowout, but I see it being like a 10-point game.
Yeah. It's a good 10 points.
10 point, maybe even a touchdown game.
Yeah.
And you could even see it come down to a field goal at the end that, Matt Prater's going to make. But, again, something we're going to have to see. That's why the NFL is here, because anything can happen except Atlanta beating Tampa Bay. Next game, we have Los Angeles Chargers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. We were split here. I'm going with Cincinnati.
I had to go with the Chargers.
Had to go with the Chargers? Why had to?
I just feel like the Chargers are going to pull this one out. They just are.
Chargers have had really good offense recently.
They have. They really have.
But the thing is Cincinnati has overperformed, and coming into this game, Los Angeles does not have a great defense. Whenever they score a lot, the other team scores a lot. And Cincinnati has a better offense. They have a better all-around offense, minus the offensive line. The offensive line is their only struggle, but they have been able to do without a strong O-line this entire season. You're looking at that. Jamar Chase has been insane. Joe Burrow has been great. And Joe Mixon, you saw him last week. I mean, dude was insane. And you're going up against this team. All they need to do is really hand the ball to Joe Mixon at this point, and he is going to toast that run defense of Los Angeles, which has been one of the worst in the league, run defense.
We'll see. I mean,
it's going to be a similar thing this week. Why are the Chargers going to win?
Justin Herbert.
Herbert. You think Herbert better than Burrow? What was it? Number 1 pick versus number 6 pick, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at a 6-5 team and a 7-4 team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of even.
It is kind of even.
But it's not even, but it's even.
Cincy is better. So,
We'll see how
I don't
it
know.
comes out.
Maybe it's an upset pick. Maybe it's an upset pick.
We will see.
We'll see.
Okay.
You can have upset picks here. Talking about upset picks, Minnesota versus Detroit. I'm going with Minnesota. I don't know how, but you're going with
Detroit is gonna get one. They are going to get one. I'm convinced. Now I thought it was gonna be. Who they played last week? The Bears.
The Bears,
Against
yeah.
Andy Dalton. I thought that one was gonna be it. But you can't win a game if you don't play football. So
Have they played football this year?
No.
Exactly.
They're gonna get one. I'm so
Why?
convinced.
Why are they
This is
gonna
the
get one?
This is the one.
They're gonna make it a 3-point game, and then Minnesota's gonna somehow make a field goal in crunch time again. Like it's gonna be tied, and then Minnesota is going to somehow make a game-winning 52-yard field goal that they always miss unless it's the Tigers,
Jeez.
the Lions. Gosh,
This
baseball.
is fun. This is a fun pick. I mean,
It's a fun pick, but it's a wrong pick.
we'll see. We will see.
Next game, we have Indianapolis versus the Houston Texans. This is another pretty easy pick here. You got Indianapolis for both of us. Indy has been going off
Playing
lately.
great against the Bucks. Except the end.
They did lose by a touchdown, so they had some, but they put up 31 against the Bucks, who have one of the better defenses in the league, and that is impressive in itself. And Indiana's offense has just looked absolutely phenomenal the last bit of time.
Definitely.
And Jonathan Taylor is going to be a big part of next game. I think they did not use him at all, like against the Bucks, until like last quarter when he finally got involved, and then all of a sudden that offense looked good. Crazy. It's like Jonathan Taylor is a good player. I think you're going to see a lot more Jonathan Taylor against Houston, and Houston does not have a run defense to stop it.
Yep. Indianapolis.
All right, next game here, we got the New York Giants versus Miami Dolphins.
Obviously Miami. With their defense, I mean, how could you not pick them? Not pick them?
Especially, once you saw last week, what you saw 2-3 weeks ago, it's not changing against Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes was so much worse than, Lamar and Cam Newton. Maybe not so much worse than Cam Newton, but worse than Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And to this point, you haven't really seen anything from that Giants offense. The only player that, concerns me with the Giants really is Kadarius Toney. He is a big play guy. If they can somehow get him going, there's a chance they could, do something to at least keep the game close. But I think Miami's going to get this one.
Yeah, Danny Dimes I don't trust him. I can't
I
trust him enough to lose a pick like that.
I don't trust Jordan Love either, and he's been better than, he's been better than Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, next game here we got Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Jets. Both chose Philly here.
Yeah. Is Jalen Hurts in?
I think he's going to be in, but he's questionable. He is questionable.
Okay. If he's not in, I would probably consider the Jets, but it's kind of hard with Zach Wilson.
Who's your backup quarterback with Philly? It's not Joe Flacco.
Let me look it up.
Who is Eagles backup QB? Let's see this. It's not Joe Flacco.
It's not Joe Flacco.
It's not Nick Foles. This is, how long ago was this? Oh my gosh.
It is Minshew. Gardner Minshew. It's Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew!
No way!
Oh, the Eagles are going to win this game.
The Eagles are going to win.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Minshew Mania is coming back, maybe.
No way.
Maybe.
No way.
That would be so cool.
I think that rest Hurts put Gardner Minshew in.
Dude, put Gardner in.
Do it.
Put Gardner in.
That would be amazing.
But I think Jalen Hurts is gonna play, so it's not really gonna.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I don't want the
Minshew
Eagles
Mania.
to win. I don't want the Eagles to win.
But they will.
Because
it's the Jets.
Yep.
Although they did win last week. They beat the Texans last week.
They did.
And Philly has been a very on and off team, so you could see the Jets winning this one. But we both got Philly, so.
Yeah.
Next game here, though, we didn't have the same team, and Washington versus Las Vegas. I'm going with Washington.
I have to go Vegas.
Washington has looked so good over the past couple weeks. Their defense throughout the season has been good. Throughout the entire season. What does Las Vegas have to beat that defense? They don't.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr is not a top 10 quarterback. Change my mind.
The way he played against the Cowboys,
I'm sorry, that's just Cowboys fandom right there. That's Cowboys bias.
Yeah.
Whenever you get hurt by a quarterback like Russell Wilson hurt the Packers, I feel like Russell Wilson is a top 5 quarterback. You know? But he's not. If I think about it logically, he's not a top 5 quarterback. Get it in the head.
I don't know. I just
Russell
feel like
Wilson isn't a top 5 quarterback. He can't hurt you. He can't hurt you. Not anymore. We're okay. We beat them. He can't hurt you.
Oh man, I just feel like Washington they can't keep this win streak going.
Yes, they can.
It's not in their blood.
It is in their blood.
This win streak going. So
It is in that
Las
blood.
Vegas takes this one.
Nope. Not happening. Taylor Heineke is the GOAT.
We were pretty similar on most of these picks.
I think, yeah, a lot of them we agreed on. Oh, a couple of them. All right, Jacksonville versus Los Angeles Rams here. This one was probably the easiest pick of the season.
No question.
Jacksonville has been terrible. Trevor Lawrence has looked like garbage. Actually, that's probably...
He's trying to carry...
I'm sorry if I offended any garbage out there. I'm sorry to compare you to Trevor Lawrence.
Man.
I didn't mean that. I meant dumpster fire.
Oh, yeah. He's just trying to
fire.
carry his whole team. I mean, I feel like he is a decent quarterback, but with him being on Jacksonville, it's just hard.
Well, Jacksonville has options, too. Like, they have Laviska Shenault. Dan Arnold's injured. Oh. They have James Robinson to check it down to. They have Marvin Jones, who's an option to throw to. He has a couple options. Yes, they're not elite, but he at least has them there.
Yeah.
Like, he's not relying solely on, like, Van Jefferson of the Rams if, you know, they didn't get Odell and somehow Cooper Kupp got injured.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp. But Cooper Kupp, yeah.
But
Cooper Kupp's going to have a field day on Jacksonville.
Rams, no question. Jacksonville is not going to win.
Rams looked very good. They looked pretty good against the Packers. They did have a couple flaws, but they looked pretty good against the Packers, and I think they're going to break out of this cold spell that Matthew Stafford's been having recently, especially against one of the worst defenses in the league.
Yeah.
Next game, Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. We both chose Baltimore because Lamar. They didn't look good last week.
No, but I feel like he just had an off week.
He had an off week 3 weeks ago. They have multiple off weeks if you're the Baltimore Ravens in that case.
But with how the Steelers are playing, Big Ben is just not a top 10 quarterback anymore.
Big Ben's kind of trash.
He's just not good anymore.
Najee is the only thing that I'm really worried about if I'm Baltimore. You gotta make sure to stop that run. That's your first idea. Everyone else comes second. You want to make sure to contain Lamar. Is not on Pittsburgh. You want to make sure to... What am I talking about? You want to make sure that you stop Najee from breaking off. You can't let him to get, those 25-yard, 30-yard runs. You got to make sure he gets, maybe you can let up a 10-yard run here and there.
Yeah.
Get them a couple first downs. I mean, that's going to happen throughout the game. But if you start letting up chunk runs like that, that's not going to be good for you. But I feel like Baltimore will be able to stop that, and Pittsburgh just hasn't been able to do much.
I mean, if you play that bad in your division, when you play those teams 2 times a year, it's kind of just, there's no hope for you.
Yeah.
To be honest,
No hope.
No hope.
All right, next game here, we got San Francisco versus the Seattle Seahawks, and we mentioned Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
But no, San Francisco's gonna win this one, even without Fred Warner, even without Deebo Samuel, even without Trey Sermon. San Fran's going to win this one. I mean, Elijah Mitchell just demolished last week, and Seattle has the second worst run defense in the league. They do. I think so. I think at least fantasy-wise, they've let up the second most points to running backs this season. Which, when it comes to fantasy points, that's pretty similar to in real life points.
But what I'm looking at right now is like their division stats. So. San Francisco they're 1-3 in the division right now.
1-3 in the division. Yep, you're right.
And the Seattle Seahawks are 1-2. So
Seattle is also 3-8, whereas the Niners are not. So that's kind of a big difference when you're looking at records and just ability to play. San Francisco is just going to run the ball up Seattle's throats.
Yeah.
Jeff Wilson and Elijah Mitchell are probably going to get a combined 45 carries. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that happened and if they only threw the ball 15 times.
This game is not going to be like huge scoring. I feel like it's going to be low scoring.
I would disagree. I feel like it's going to be a big scoring game because yes, they're going to be running the ball, but they're going to get such big runs that it's going to be like chunked down the field. You're only really going to have 7 plays. And then you can just run 1 play action pass, and then that's going to be...
I don't know.
You're getting down that field so quickly, and then Seattle, the only thing that they're good at is offense. They have Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Russell Wilson. Chris Carson is injured, I believe, still, so he's not coming back. But Rashad Penny, I think, might play. Alex Collins is going to do a lot better, but it's still San Francisco, and they're a good defensive team.
Yeah, they are.
Seattle isn't going to score much, but that is their strong suit when it comes to what their team is good at. They're good at playing offense comparatively to their defense. So if Seattle is going to score a lot, it's going to be because of their offense, and San Francisco is going to run wild against that defense.
Okay.
It's going to look like Leonard Fournette. It might look like Leonard Fournette and Rojo
Maybe.
last week. I think it could. Anyway, next game, we got Sunday Night Football here. This game got flexed last week. Denver versus Kansas City here. Primetime game.
Huge game.
Now, the AFC, any game in the AFC West is a huge game. You have the Chiefs are 7-4, and then you have the Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos all at 6-5. So this game, everyone in that division is 1 game off from one another. So you look at this, and huge game here. I think Drew Lock going to come in and toast Kansas City. No. Kansas City's going to win this game by a fashionable amount. Patrick Mahomes has looked great over the last few games. Tyreek Hill has been looking great. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is back. Travis Kelce's been looking great. Mecole Hardman has not dropped as many passes as he used to. This entire team has finally put their offense together, and it's working as it should be, and that is going to continue against Denver. And that defense hasn't actually been as bad as people remember it this year. It isn't.
They really started picking up with their defense, so I kind of was surprised.
I don't see their defense letting up a ton of points, especially against Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater, he's such a conservative quarterback that you're not really going to have any big plays, and when you're not trying for big plays against Kansas City's defense, eventually they'll be able to make a stop, because Kansas City lets up the big plays, but if you're not trying for those big plays, they're not going to get them.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to slow them down eventually, and eventually they'll get those stops before they get points. So it's not going to be looking good for Denver. Kansas City's going to win this game. Why did you choose Denver?
Okay, this game is literally a toss-up to me. Like, Chiefs are good, Denver's good. It's the division game. The division games always throw me off because they're so weird because they play them so often. Like,
No shot.
It's so odd. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be close, high scoring. It's going to be good.
You think Denver is going to be high scoring?
I think Denver's going to either win by 3 or 1. Now, I love the Chiefs. I love Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Yeah. But I think Denver might get this one.
Denver doesn't have any superstar players. Name one. Name one superstar player on the Broncos.
I can't.
Exactly.
I don't pay attention to the Broncos.
Name 4 on the Chiefs, and you can do it. Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce.
We'll
Easy.
See. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, this one was just a toss-up to me, and I just wanted to pick different from you.
Okay, fair.
To be honest.
Because you want to be wrong when I'm right. Cool.
Okay.
New England versus Buffalo, Monday night game, the final game. This is going to be my favorite game of the week.
I think. Yeah, me too.
This one took me so long to decide on. I literally had on my sheet here. I said I don't know who's going to win this.
Yeah.
I had that up there for like a couple hours. I ended up choosing Buffalo. I don't feel good about it, but I ended up choosing Buffalo because Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs have a good connection.
That is true. That is very true.
That's basically the only thing that I could say, and New England just doesn't have that wide receiver connection. I mean, Kendrick Bourne looked pretty dang good last week, but I mean, it's really close here. Both teams have looked well. New England has looked really good, and Buffalo has gotten back into the swing of Buffalo things.
Yeah.
But they had a good week last week, which means could have a bad week this week because that's how it's been. They have a good week and then they have a bad week. Good week, bad week.
I had to choose New England. I mean,
I can see that.
I see them more as a stability team. They've been keeping consistent stuff throughout the whole season. I mean, even in their losses, I mean, they haven't lost by a terrible amount.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have to take New England on this one. I think Mac Jones is really gonna be a star in this game.
I think this could be a playoff matchup right here.
It really could.
Buffalo versus New England. This could be AFC Conference Championship.
Yep.
I mean, you throw the Kansas City Chiefs in there is probably another option. Maybe the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Those 4 teams right there. I think those are the divisional teams.
Yeah.
New England, Buffalo, Baltimore, Chiefs, and there's a good chance that you look at Buffalo versus New England in the conference championship, and this is a big game right here on Monday Night Football.
Big game. 8-4 and 7-4. So
yeah, if you're in school, make sure to get all your homework done before 7:00 that night,
and watch the game.
and then watch that game, and just make sure that you can work on Tuesday. If you're out of school, feel free, take off work early if you're not going to. Make sure to eat dinner, before 7:00 because you don't want to miss this game. That game's going to be good. But
it's so sad because I'll literally be at practice, so I don't get to watch the game. It's so sad.
Yeah, that's a bit tough. I don't think I have anything that night, so I'm super excited. But either way, that is going to close out our weekly matchups, and that is going to close out our episode for today. Make sure to drop any comments below if you have some questions that you would like us to answer next episode. But while you're down there, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you weren't already. But I mean, that is going to close it out for us tonight. So thank you for joining me tonight, Cora.
Of course.
We're gonna see who is gonna be on the show next week, so make sure to tune in for that. But with that, hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Enjoy some football and peace.